observe the thought, because when you begin to observe that thought, you're no longer the program now. You're the consciousness observing the program, and you're starting to pull out of the program.
Thinking about the thinking.
Yeah, who's doing the thinking of the thinking about the thinking? That's who you are when you're not the program. That's awareness, right?
Yeah.
You gotta become aware of how you speak, how you act, become so conscious, so aware of it that you won't go unconscious and let that thought or that behavior run you. You gotta say, oh my God, this feeling that I've been living by for the last 20 years is actually guilt. I didn't know it was guilt because it just feels like me.
Think about the emotions that are associated with stress. It's anger, it's hatred, it's violence, it's hostility, it's judgment, it's competition, it's control, it's envy, it's jealousy, it's insecurity, it's fear, it's anxiety, it's vigilance, it's hopelessness, it's powerlessness, it's guilt, it's shame, and psychology calls all of those emotional states normal human states of consciousness. Those are altered states of consciousness. So if you're feeling any one of those emotional states, more than likely you're having a stress response. The problem is we get so conditioned into it that we don't know how to feel any other way. So I think we describe change in this work as being greater than your body, being greater than the body that's been conditioned emotionally into the past, and being greater than the body when it's programmed into a predictable future. Executing a will that's greater than the program, executing a mind that's greater than the body and moving it into the present moment takes a lot of energy and takes a lot of awareness, and you got to sit with it long enough to get good at it. So in order for you to change, you have to be able to move from that place of knowns, familiar past, predictable future, into the present moment, the unknown, okay? To change is to be greater than your environment. Every person, every object, everything, every place has a neurological network in your brain because you've experienced it, okay? So if you're not being defined by a vision of the future and you open your eyes and you plug yourself back in the three-dimensional reality, you see your coworker, you see your ex, you see your boss, you see your friend, you see your cell phone, you see the news, and then now the environment is actually controlling the way you're feeling and the way you're thinking. So now it's no longer your personality creating your personal reality. Your personal reality is creating your personality. Your environment is controlling the way you're thinking and feeling. So to change is to be greater than your environment, to not respond the same way, not to think the same way, not to act the same way in the same conditions, okay? And not be in the predictable future and the familiar past. You got to be in the present moment. It means overcome time, okay? That's our model for change. When you're under stress, the arousal of stress hormones causes you to really feel like your body. The arousal causes you to put all of your attention on your body because you're the priority when you're in survival. When you're in survival and the brain is in the aroused state, your attention is, you're not going inward now. You get eaten. You can't get vulnerable. You can't drop your guard, like the video there. Drop your guard. You got to drop your guard to be vulnerable. But if you won't drop your guard, if the threat of the danger's out there, you don't want to go in. It's not time to create. It's not a time to go in. It's not time to learn. It's time to run, fight, and hide, right? So the arousal causes us to put all of our attention on the environment. And when you're under stress and you're trying to predict the future based on the past, you're obsessing about time, right? So if the change is to be greater than your body, to be greater than your environment, to be greater than time, and the stress hormones cause us to put all of our attention on our bodies, our environment, and time, it means when we're under stress and we're in survival, it's really hard to change. It's really not a time to change. It's time to run, fight, and hide. Okay, overcome the addiction to those emotions, lower the volumes in them, give people the application, and have them work with it. They're going to break an addiction. What happens when you break an addiction? You go through withdrawals. Come on, just a little suffering. Come on, just a little judgment. Just you got it. Come on, that's so. The mind is craving those chemicals and stuff. Overcoming an addiction to something outside of us is one thing, but overcoming the addiction to the chemicals of the emotions that are within us that's a huge thing, right? And so it's funny because if you're addicted to something like, I don't know, sugar or caffeine, and none of these are, have your own belief on them, but if you're addicted to alcohol or whatever, or nicotine, and you say, I'm going to quit, and you say that with intention with your conscious mind. And then, I throw my feet up on the table, I grab a sugar donut and a cup of coffee, and I got, powder all around my mouth, and you're still trying to overcome it. Your body's going to say, start tomorrow. This is not a good day for you. Come on, one bite, everybody else is doing it. All of that. Those are the voices in our head that lead to the same choices, right? So, but if you truly broke the addiction to the emotion, to the substance, and you walked in, you could have the sugar or not have the sugar, or the coffee or not have the coffee, because you're not addicted to it, and there's no tug any longer. Stress mismanages our attention. All right. So if you're addicted to an emotion and you're addicted to fear, there's going to be some person or some circumstance that you're going to put your attention on that actually is associated with that fear. And so the stronger the emotion you have to some person or problem, the more you pay attention to them. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy. Then you're giving your power away to that person. So lower the volume to that emotion, overcome the addiction. You'll take your attention off that person or problem, and that's energy that's coming back to you, and it actually builds your own field. Now there's energy to heal. Now there's energy to create. There's energy to design a new future. So lowering the volume to the emotion, overcoming the addiction is an art, because you go through that period of cravings where your body, which has been conditioned to be the mind, is telling you, come on, just one memory. Come on, just do it once. And if people are white knuckling it and they don't know what to do, then it becomes like withdrawals. Give them something to do. Let me replace this emotion. Let me replace this thought. Let me do something differently. I think it helps it. I think you can move a little quicker that way.
Consciousness is awareness. Awareness is paying attention and noticing. And so 95% of who we are by the time we're 35 years old is a set of unconscious automatic programs that we've just practiced so many times that we're not consciously thinking about those. So in order for you to change, to answer the initial question that you asked, the first step is you got to become conscious of your unconscious thoughts. And you got to start looking at those hardwired thoughts that you think every day, that are just circuits that have been fired and wired together.
How do we do that? Should we write a list at the end of the day, or one of the most common thoughts we have that day? Like, how does someone become aware of
You don't have
thoughts?
to do that. You just have to sit down, close your eyes, and not move. And then you'll start seeing.
What am I thinking about right now?
Yeah, and all you want to do is observe the thought, because when you begin to observe that thought, you're no longer the program now. You're the consciousness observing the program, and you're starting to pull out of the program.
Thinking about the thinking.
Yeah, who's doing the thinking of the thinking about the thinking? That's who you are when you're not the program. That's awareness, right?
Yeah.
You got to become aware of how you speak, how you act, become so conscious, so aware of it that you won't go unconscious and let that thought or that behavior run you. You got to say, oh my God, this feeling that I've been living by for the last 20 years is actually guilt. I didn't know it was guilt because it just feels like me. And all of a sudden, as you start becoming conscious of it, you're beginning to objectify your subjective self. You're pulling out of those programs. And nobody likes to do that because it's uncomfortable. They'd rather turn on their cell phone, start texting, get on the internet, watch TV to distract them from that moment. And that is what they have to move through in order to get to their own personal freedom. So the first step is becoming conscious. And meditation means to become familiar with, to become conscious of, to become so conscious of your unconscious self that you won't go unconscious to any thought, any behavior or emotion. And get ready, because it takes a tremendous amount of energy to do that, and awareness to stay conscious. And so we fall from grace.
Yeah.
Fine, you're awake, you got another day, let's go again.
How often do you fall?
Oh my gosh, I mean, how many times have I done it? Thousands, but I'm not going to give up, because the moments in which I do connect, or the moments that I do have that transcendental experience, what matters the most after it, when I have that transcendental moment, I look back at all of those difficult meditations, those difficult days, and those are the ones you remember. You don't remember the good meditations. You remember the ones where you came up against yourself and you went a little further, and you said, I'm going to go a little further, I'm going to go a little further. Or you had a rough day and you just went in and you at the end of the day, you surrender and you have the classic, oh my God moment. There's no linear correlation. It's just whether you're willing to live in creation instead of living in survival. And so you get better at it. We just get better at it. And for me, staying conscious and staying aware and staying present is an art, because you know when someone's present with you in your life because they're paying attention to you. You know when they're not present with you because they're not paying attention to you. So imagine this field of information, this intelligence that lives within you and I, that's governing everything material in this world. It's a self-organizing intelligence. You have access to it, so you better get present with it as well as you can get present with anything else. And just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. That realm you can't experience with your senses. You can only experience with your awareness. So then people have to take their attention off their bodies and go from a somebody to a nobody. Take their attention off the people in their life and go from that they identify with, and go from a someone to a no one. Take their attention off the things in their life, their cell phone, their computer, their car, and go from something to nothing. Take their attention off where they sleep, where they work, where they're sitting, and go from somewhere to nowhere. Take their attention off the predictable future and the familiar past and time, and go from some time to no time. And now if you're taking all of your attention off of everything material in this three-dimensional reality, now there's only one other thing that's left. That means you're an awareness, your consciousness. And now that is the bridge, that is the door to the quantum field. And you can't enter the quantum field as a somebody. So if someone has spent their whole life working on having the perfect body, or so much so they have so much attention on their pain, where you place your attention is where you place your energy, it's going to take some work for them to take all of their attention off their body, right? Because they'll do it and then they'll go back, let's see if the pain's still there. Oh, the pain's still there. So it's a little bit of a waltz in the beginning, but as people start applying this, you start getting better at it.